If a man stabbed at 9 years old can become a multimillionaire, then what excuse do we have not to chase our dreams? Hi, Christina Zaharia coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. Drop a one in the chat if you are live here with me. I think today is going to be a good one, just based on something that I've learned today. Because on my daily success DMO, so success daily method of operation, is personal development. And so let's dive in. Have you ever felt like your circumstances were stacked against you? Have you used your past as an excuse why you didn't make it in the present? Like, no matter how hard you try, the deck just is not in your favor. Tonight, I want to share something that shook me to my core. It is called the Tiki Factor. And I thought it's such a cool description, but I think that it can change the way you look at your own life. Today, while I was walking in the morning, I did my 10,000 steps by 8 o'clock. So while I was walking, I listened to the podcast with Ed Milet and his guest, Tiki Davis, which I've never heard of before. But Ed Milet has a way of bringing people to his podcast, just the way Tom Schnell does in this industry. I always hear about people that I've never heard of before. And so Tiki's story is beyond anything that I've ever heard. At 9 years old, Tiki was stabbed in the neck and he was left there in the room because of his mother's lifestyle. And he grew up in chaos and bounced between homes. And he even ended up in jail at the same time with his mom. And most people would say that he never had a chance. But here's the thing, instead of letting his past define him, he decided to believe in himself. And he stacked up small wins and he kept betting on himself. And he took a $13 an hour job and he turned it into a multi-million-dollar career. And like I said, I've never heard of him before, but definitely I'm going to research him more because today he's a successful businessman and he's a speaker and an author. And they're even going to turn his life story into a movie. And so his life is really proof that your beginning doesn't have to dictate your ending. And something really cool that Tiki boiled down to, what helped him rise above, he calls it the Tiki Factor. And it's a cool name, right? The Tiki Factor. So it's simple but powerful. So if you take his name, Tiki, Tiki, T stands for total commitment. And that means to go all in on your goals and don't just half step it, right? I is for imagination. He mentioned the importance of living from your imagination, not from your history, because your past doesn't decide your future, it's in your past. K stands for kindred spirits. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people who push you higher, right? You're the average of the five people you hang around with. The last I, is to invest in yourself because your growth is the best investment you'll ever make. That's why Grant Cardone was able to um, to do the undercover millionaire, right? And figured it all out because people can take possessions from you, but they cannot take what you have in your brain and they cannot take what you have in your heart. So that's your biggest heart. That's your biggest asset. And so when I heard that, I thought, wow, this is exactly what so many of us need, because maybe you've felt stuck in your 9 to 5, or you've let old mistakes or tough situations hold you back, but this is to something new that hopefully you can apply. The Tiki Factor reminds us that you are not your past and that you can choose total commitment and use your imagination and surround yourself with people who lift you up and keep investing in yourself. And something that he said, I kind of agree but disagree at the same time, because he said that his core belief was simply believing in himself, even when no one else did. And in a way, he's right, because you want to stack small wins, just like Brad Lee says that too. You brush your teeth. Way that's a win, right? So it's good to build that belief muscle, because when you keep the promises you make to yourself, and you'll prove to yourself at that point, you'll prove to yourself that you can do hard things. At the same time, what I felt is that many times when I'm in the presence of my mentors, right, let's take Sean Murphy, he sees in me what I don't. And so many times I borrow his belief in me, and that's kind of something that keeps pushing me forward. And so yeah, these are the lessons that I learned today during my personal development. So my challenge to you tonight is this: which part of the Tiki Factor do you need to apply in your life right now? Is it going all in? Is it using your imagination? Remember, that means not living in the past. Is it surrounding yourself with better people? Or finally investing in yourself? Drop it in the comments. I would really love to hear that. And if this message resonates with you, share this life with someone who you believe needs a reminder that they are not their past, they are their potential. So I wanted to thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to also remind you to do something nice for someone today, like my friend and chiropractor, Dr. Sean Demaris, told his son every single day. And remember that in a world where people choose to hate each other for no reason, I choose to love for no reason, like Jesse Lee Ward would say. I appreciate you, and I will see you at the next live. Bye, friend.